Another day, more leaks and rumors. Welcome back to the Nintendo Switch 2 hype train that we've been on for this last couple of weeks, and it continues today. There's so much stuff to still talk about and uncover, but before I can even get back to some older things, yes, some new stuff just dropped already again, and thanks to GameStop of all places. Yeah, we might actually have some ideas of some games coming to Switch 2, which might not be first party yet, but there's a lot of information because things are hitting the system within stores. Stores are preparing and getting ready because units and SKUs are popping up all over the place, including one small rumor that might give us a price range, including a release date for the Switch 2. So there's a lot to unpack here, but I made a deal with you guys. I said if we get over around 300 or even 400 brand new subscribers in yesterday's video alone, then fine, I will do a dance for you guys on camera. And somehow yesterday, literally just yesterday, we got over 1,000 brand new subscribers. So here you go. So yeah, I guess I'll be doing that every day until Switch 2 comes out, depending on how many subs we get. So if we get over like 200 or 300 subs, I'll do a new song and a new dance every single day. So if you're enjoying this content, leave a like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. Let's see how many we can get on this video. But man, 1,000 is crazy. I love you guys. But back to the content. Well, Nintendo is messing up yet again. And this time it's not even from Nintendo themselves, but instead it's from some of the stores. Because we're starting to get that special thing that happens when you know a reveal is imminent. SKUs popping up in retailers because GameStop might have just sold themselves. Yep, tons of new SKUs popped up in GameStop's system if you search Switch 2 within their system. Some things we can see is Switch 2 Express micro SD cards ranging from 256 gigs to a whopping 512 gigs. We also have Joy-Con charger grip for Switch 2, including more accessories like Switch 2 carrying case. We have Switch 2 Deluxe gaming case, Switch 2 tempered glass, and another Switch 2 Express micro SD card, but this time 1 terabyte. But it's not just that, it's games as well. For instance, there's some game coming for Switch 2 that's from the company Take-Two. Take-Two Interactive is known for games like BioShock, Borderlands, GTA, Red Dead Redemption, even NBA 2K. So yeah, it's a pretty big publisher. So maybe one of these games are coming, Red Dead Redemption 2 perhaps, or maybe even GTA 5. These are rumors we've heard in the past, so it wouldn't completely shock me. But there's even more placeholders for third-party games apparently coming to Switch 2. Some from EA, Square Enix, Bandai Namco, Warner Brothers, Bethesda, and tons of more Switch peripherals and accessories from Nintendo themselves. So yeah, things are really starting to leak here. According to all this information, we have 3 EA games, 4 Square Enix games, 3 Bandai Namco games, 2 Bethesda, 2 Warner Brothers games, and 1 Take-Two game. Now let's run through these real quick and talk about what games they could be. I don't think necessarily any of them are sports games, believe it or not, because I think every single sports game is already on current Switch, unless there's a new version that just runs better. Maybe it's an improved FIFA 25 for Switch 2. You have Dragon Age, and you also have Split Fiction, which is a kind of spiritual successor to It Takes Two coming out next year, which I'm actually personally really excited for, a fun co-op adventure game, so that could be something that they're pre-ordering and getting ready for. Next up, we have Square Enix, which is definitely going to be the Final Fantasy games. We have Final Fantasy 16, and we also have 7 Remake and 7 Rebirth that they can put on this, and including the new, third part of the Final Fantasy 7 Remake games, which we don't know the name of that yet. Maybe that's something for the future. I doubt there'll be a pre-order for that already, though. It might be too soon. But you also have like the Life is Strange series of games, so one of those could be on there. There's a lot of options there, but definitely thinking Final Fantasy for that. And not only that, according to Nate the Hate on his recent podcast, he claims that Final Fantasy 7 Remake will come to Xbox and Nintendo Switch 2 in 2025, with Rebirth in 2026, so maybe these do have some validity to them. For Bandai Namco, filling 3 spots is super easy because there's really 3 major games right now that people are talking about and people are playing. Of course, you have Elden Ring, which is a huge game that people would love to have on Switch 2. It'd be kind of that big Skyrim reveal that we got originally. And then we have Tekken 8, which is a huge fighting game that we can have, and another fighting game is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is going to get a lot of people excited to have that on Switch 2 as well. Tekken 8 has also been a game that's been rumored to come for a while and starting to pop up again as a big rumor. For Bethesda, you got a couple options here. You have Starfield, which might still be a little too graphically intense. I don't know, because I know that game is pretty intense, being able to fly in and out of the solar system into planets and land and stuff, so who knows. We have the new Indiana Jones game, and we also have an upcoming Doom game with Doom: The Dark Ages, or maybe even one of the Fallout games could happen eventually, like Fallout 4 or 76. I feel like more people would want 4, but yeah, you have those options. Personally, for Warner Brothers, it's kind of a no-brainer to me. I think it's going to be Multiverses, which is a platform fighter like Smash Brothers, and then we have Mortal Kombat 1. I mean, come on, these are like the biggest games I think they have right now. I mean, if you want to stretch it a little further, I guess you could say the Suicide Squad, but I just think the other two just make so much sense, and I still can't believe Multiverses isn't on current Switch. Now, Take-Two works with Rockstar Games, so they've worked on GTA, so we could get GTA 5, we could get Red Dead Redemption 2. What if GTA 6 was coming? Nah, that's probably not happening. But it could be a new Civilization game, like Civ 7, for instance, could be coming to Switch 2. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And once again, there's rumors going around stating that Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be releasing on Switch 2 as well. And also on Nate the Hate's podcast, he mentioned that Flight Simulator 2024 and Halo the Master Chief Collection are coming to PS5 and Switch 2 in 2025, which we already know that Nintendo has talked about building relations with a lot of these companies mentioned, including Microsoft, and even Microsoft themselves has stated that their goal is to get their games on other platforms as well, which we'd be seeing lots of Xbox games coming to PS5 and coming to Switch 2 probably. Well, it seems like Nintendo's finally starting to catch on to these leaks now and paying attention to them, which they should be because they're all over the internet. Well, apparently just about a day later, GameStop took down all the names from their system with all those SKUs. Instead, replaced them with the name dummy SKUs. So they still exist, but clearly it seems like Nintendo attacked them and told them to get rid of those names now, which they did, and they're just all dummy SKUs, but they're the same ones. They're still Switch 2 items. And it looks like Nintendo made a public statement, especially with all the things coming out of CES with the accessory company Genki, which is showing off pretty much their own 3D models and renders of the console, where they stated they actually had a Switch 2 on hand and they just made these models based on that Switch 2 that Nintendo gave them. Well, Nintendo came out and said regarding the images and videos, they are not official. That's it. I mean, duh. You know, this is just like a way for Nintendo to say, hey, that's not our actual Switch 2. But they didn't even deny anything about it. Like, they didn't deny what it looks like this doesn't look like what it's going to be, none of this information is accurate. They just said those images and videos, they're not official. Like, nothing else. It's just so funny. Of course, it looks like maybe Nintendo attacked Genki because they then just kind of refute everything that they say. They at first said that they had a Switch 2 from Nintendo, but now, right after this information of Nintendo speaking out comes out, they say they have not seen the actual Switch 2, and the mock-ups were made based on leaked information. Which doesn't sound right, because they were saying the complete opposite thing a couple of days ago. So maybe Nintendo really did get to them and, you know, they kind of shut them down and said, hey, you can't say these things. So they probably got in trouble for it, which I would have imagined, but yeah. And Jake Randall on Twitter mentioned they also got kicked out of CES a couple of days ago. Security tightened up after, and all other exhibitors were warned not to allow photos of Switch 2 mock-ups. So clearly, Nintendo attacked this whole thing. Yeah, I think Genki took it a little too far here. So yes, I think everything they showed off is super accurate. I do think they have a Nintendo Switch 2. They just had to refute statements because you need an actual unit to be able to make accessories for the thing. You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't have all these accessories for just a dummy console. It wouldn't even make sense. So yeah, they wouldn't want people seeing all this stuff that's not even going to be accurate to what the console is. So yeah, all that information is probably true, just the Nintendo ninjas got to them. Now, a couple of more rumors before we wrap up today. Now, take these two with an extreme grain of salt, but someone on Twitter is claiming that the Nintendo Switch 2 is already up for pre-order at 2 European stores. Apparently, it's priced at around 450 euros, which is around $460 here in the US, and it's apparently coming April 3rd, which is a Thursday. But once again, please take this all with a grain of salt. The person did not post any, actual evidence or credit for anything, so we don't know if this is true or not. Probably not, but just once again, just giving you some information here. Last but not least, there's some rumored information from Necro Felipe on Twitter that claims this is going to be the Switch 2 box for the games, which actually seems the same. It's just a little bit bigger, and of course with the Switch 2 being a little bit bigger than the current Switch, I guess that's something that we could obviously expect, but nothing critically huge here. And I wonder if the game cartridges will be any bigger. I think the cartridge slot they said was the same size, so probably not. Can they please at least add a booklet? Because, I mean, right now, the Switch case is just completely empty. So if you make a bigger one, it's going to be even more big, empty space. So add something in there, Nintendo. And that will wrap up today's video. We don't know when this thing is going to get revealed. There's still rumors saying somehow it could be next week. I 100% don't believe this because it's the release of Donkey Kong Country Returns. And I don't know how Nintendo reveals a Switch 2 and also releases this game in the same week. Maybe they do. I doubt it. I don't know at this point. I mean, I'm still hoping for this month sometime, maybe the last 2 weeks of this month, maybe it's in February, maybe Nintendo waits until the very last week of March, who knows, but all I can say is there is excitement again. We're getting hyped thanks to the leakers, giving us some things to look forward to. It's just up to Nintendo to finally stop being so secretive with this thing and talk about it. But when do you guys think Nintendo is officially going to reveal this thing? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. Also, for my Buckeye fans out there, go Bucks. Let's bring home a dub tonight. See you guys.